Welcome to the Velvet Visionaries Podcast, where vision meets execution. This podcast is for visionaries only. Those builders, the creators, the seers, those who see beyond what is and build what could be. I'm your host, Walter Williams, and today I'm joined by a South Central Los Angeles born, Alabama bred Army National Guard veteran with a background in networking engineering and over a decade working in technology and systems engineering roles. This man was also a former president of the Huntsville chapter of the Black Data Processing Associates, where he helped create STEM opportunities for underdeserved youth. That means black people. Through hands-on training in coding, robotics, and technology. But the reason he's here today is that he's also an entrepreneur and founder of Bradshaw Tech and Designs, where he's led web development projects and launched coding workshops designed to make tech education accessible to the community. He's a proud member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated and an active member in the Beta Sigma Epsilon chapter here in Huntsville. Excited to have him here today to talk about technology, leadership, entrepreneurship, and his community impact. Visionaries, give it up for Mr. Jason Bradshaw. What's going on, man? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Appreciate that, man. I love that energy behind it.
Definitely, bro. Definitely, man. I appreciate it, man. I know before we started, I know we were talking about just the mentoring aspect, and like we talked about that latter. I definitely want to get into that. But what's going on in your world today, man? What's going on with Bradshaw Tech today? What's going on in your coding space and things like that? Tell the people who you are and what you do, man.
Well, first off, thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here, brother. I love what you're doing, and I want to see this continue to grow and flourish, man. So first off, thank you. Right now, man, I'm mainly focused on my web design business. So Bradshaw Tech Designs was something that I created probably around. I was doing it kind of underground not underground, but just as a side hustle. But then I finally made it official in 2022. So mainly working with a lot of small businesses and some nonprofit organizations, things of that nature. So currently have about 4 or 5 projects I'm working on right now that I should have done probably by June at the latest. Nice. And just continue to help other businesses grow. And then I guess as far as what we do at Bradshaw Tech is that I bring in all of my different skill sets, from working in corporate, working for the government, working as a leader in different organizations. I bring all that to my business, and then so I'm not just building you a landing page. I'm showing you how to make this website how to create a process with this website to help your business flourish.
Right.
Then I'm also trying to guide whoever I'm working with to better market themselves. So you get it's all encompassing when you work with me, because I'm not just gonna build your website and send you on your way. I'm gonna make sure that I set you up for success and try to help get you to where you need to be.
For sure.
But currently, like I said, I'm just working on a few projects. My biggest thing, is code, sip, repeat, because that's my most viewable or most prominent thing that I have, because it's a coding workshop that incorporates. You can look at it as a mixer, you can look at it as a coding workshop, and as a networking event all in one.
Okay.
So a typical code to repeat, you sign up, you pull up. We'll have a DJ playing music, we'll have a bartender serving drinks, we'll have some food, and then you bring your laptops, open up your laptops, you start conversing with the people around you. Okay. And next thing you know, we get started, and we take coding and make it bite-sized and build on it throughout the 4 hours that we're there.
Nice.
And we do real world projects that you can take with you and continue to build on. Like we've done a project where you create an AI chatbot, or where you can create like a ticker, like you see on like the bottom of like ESPN or CNN or whatever, showing different things. Yeah. And it just make it easy to digest, but enough where you're learning something. And our goal is to educate, engage, and entertain.
Nice.
So we try to do all 3 of those, and just make it happen. Because with Coast and Repeat, you know, technology training that clicks. That's that's our slogan. But this year we mainly just been doing private workshops with Coast and Repeat. We have one coming up the Friday after next.
Okay.
But we haven't done any public ones this year. I've had some issues. My mom got sick, so I kind of been on the back burner with that. So, but yeah, we lost her in February, bro. So
yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
But that's where I'm at, man. So dealing with that, and that kind of got me kind of on chill, just doing, you know, website stuff. So.
No, for sure. That's what's up. So, how did you get into coding? Like, what's your origin of coding? Like, growing up, did you have like mentors around you when you were younger that was doing coding, or what was your first foray into coding?
It's crazy that you asked that, because I never really got into coding. Now, technology per se. My mama bought me this VTech. I forgot the actual model number, but it's basically a CPU with a keyboard that you plug into your TV.
Okay.
And so this was the early 90s.
Yeah.
She bought it for me, man. I'm in there, I'm learning all the different little word games and all that stuff. So that was my first introduction to technology.
Okay.
And ever since then, you know, I was the tech guy for the house. You know, I set up the VCRs.
Right.
You know, my uncle can't figure out the remote, like all that type of stuff. You know, and that became something that I held on to. And then, all throughout middle school and high school, I was in computer class every semester.
Okay.
So it was intro to computers. Like I was in the last advanced class in my high school. So and then I went to Alabama State for computer science. I didn't finish that state because of military duty, but I ended up finishing at Virginia College in Birmingham with a degree in network engineering.
Okay.
So that got me into technology.
Okay.
Coding per se, I really didn't get into until I started working with BDPA.
Gotcha.
Around 2018.
Okay.
Because mainly what I do now is mainly like scripting and a lot of Terraform and Ansible, which is more scripting languages and not necessarily coding.
Okay.
But coding with Python and things like that, I got into that around 2018 when I started with BDPA. One of my mentors, Bernard Neely, he was very deep into Raspberry Pis and things like that.
Okay.
And he kind of got me into it. So that was my introduction.
That's what's up. And so the computer science, though, you chose that path at State, right? So first of all, shout out to Bulldogs. You know, go Bulldogs. You know what I'm saying?
Hornets all day, baby.
So what made you say you want to do computer science? Because of the VTech experience and because of all that stuff? Okay.
Because everything, you know, I initially wanted to be a veterinarian.
Okay.
And I got accepted to Tuskegee to be a veterinarian. After I went to basic training right after high school, I got back and I was like, oh, veterinarians got to do the same amount of time in school as a regular doctor.
Right.
Like I'm good.
Right.
I'm good on that. Like give me something I can get 4 years and be done. So I went to State for computer science, and then let me backtrack. So during my basic, my first day, basic was the summer. I ended up in Maryland for my schooling for the military.
Okay.
My first day of class was 9/11.
Hey man, you see this? Why they didn't record this on a real camera? They shot this on a Motorola flip phone, man.
Hey, we're live.
Hey, I'm Walter Williams with Velvet Visionaries Studios, and I help local businesses here in Huntsville make content for their social media pages. If you're a real estate agent, if you're a clothing boutique, if you're a restaurant, a food truck, anything like that needs better content, clean content to better engage with their community, reach out to me. If you've got an upcoming event that needs videography services, reach out to us. You can call us 256-541-8966, or you can email us at velvetvisionaries@gmail.com, spelled just like you see. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good day. Hey, bro, why you ain't tell me that the camera was on?
So,
understood.
So we got there that Friday prior. That weekend, everything was cool. It felt like college. College, you know. That Monday was cool. Monday was in processing. They in process. Tuesday was first day of class. We in class. The teacher telling us everything. Boom, it's time for lunch. We go to lunch. Lunch, everything is ballistic, crazy. People running everywhere. Yeah. MPs with they rifles out. Like, what the hell going on?
Right.
And we get back to the class and the TV on and we seeing what's happening. So that was my 9/11.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
And so after that, you know, it kind of changed everything. You know, because went to state for the first semester, fall of 22. No, I'm sorry, fall of 02.
Okay.
I graduated in 2001. So fall of 02. And hell, my drill in December, they're like, hey, they called out a bunch of names, hey, y'all getting deployed. Like, what?
God, dog. Your name was in the hat. You got pulled.
So, did 2 years of like basic.
Where'd you go?
Just the Maxwell, man.
Okay.
Down there in Montgomery.
Okay.
Doing base security.
Okay.
So it wasn't a hard deployment. It was pretty cool, really relaxed at that.
Yeah.
But it kind of took me away from school, and after getting bills and stuff, I was like, man, I can't go to traditional school, man. I need to go to something.
Yeah.
So car note, all that type of stuff. So that led me to Virginia College in Birmingham.
Okay.
But yeah, man, initially, you know, computer science was my thing just because I wanted to be more into computers, and, you know, they offered that program at state, so.
Okay.
But.
Is that where you got into the website development at that point, or?
So I got into website development when I was at Virginia College.
Okay.
You know, I've always been kind of a hustler.
Yeah.
My dad's been an entrepreneur as far as I know my whole life, so I've always kind of watched and observed him and learned from him, and then, you know, having the computer knowledge I did when I was younger, I learned how to burn CDs and learn how to do all the line wires and all that.
That's right.
So, you know, I was slanging mixtapes, all types of stuff. And so, you know, that entrepreneurial spirit was like, okay, well, let me create a business where I can fix computers.
Okay.
And then it's like, well, I need a website so people know how to find me. And I started tinkering with that, and it gave me an opportunity to be creative, because tech, you know, it's not really creative. It's usually black and white. Right. So it gave me an opportunity to be creative and still have a technical aspect to it.
Okay.
Because I'm a creative at heart. They gave me a chance to be creative and still technical and make money. You know, so now like, oh well, I can fix your computer and I can build you a website.
Right.
And that kind of helped me get to where I am now, you know, because Bradshaw Tech and Designs, you know, we do designs, we do tech, you know, I can come set up your church's video setup for streaming, you know, from ordering everything to setting it up to helping you set up your first show and all that. You know, I've done that for like 3 churches.
Okay.
Setting up your Wi-Fi and a business, you know, all of that, and then I'll build you a website, you know. So I try to be as
one-stop shop.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
I got you. That's what's up. Do you remember the first time you got paid for building somebody's website?
Man, that's a great question. The first time I got paid for building a website, man, it had to be like 2006. Yeah, so I don't even remember, man. But man, that's a great question. I need to go look back.
Do you remember like your first big one then?
My first big one was a business out of Birmingham.
Okay.
And it was 5 figures, so I'm like, shoot.
Hey.
I'm like, that's a win.
That's
you
win
know,
right
like,
there. So walk us through it, man. How did you find them? Like, what was you doing to reach out to them? Or how did you know what I mean? What was the whole process?
Let me take it back. It was 4 figures, I'm sorry.
Okay.
4 figures, but still.
That's still decent though.
Yeah, man, you know. But just networking, man.
Okay.
Basically, one of my frat brothers, he knew a lady that was looking for somebody to do a website. She told me what she wanted. I quoted her. She said, "Cool," and boom. You know, it was like, okay, let's go.
That's what's up.
And so that had to be like 2008ish, 2009.
Okay.
But before that, it was doing $700, $900 website, stuff like that.
Okay.
But once it started getting to a point where it's like, hey, I'm skilled at this. I can get you exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah.
I can meet your time frame. I can help you maximize on your return on. I'll give you a good return on your investment.
Right.
So that kind of helped me from that point. So
you brought up a couple of good points, and this is what I think we talked. It's starting to be a theme. One is the relationships, right? Mm-hmm. Like relationship building is so important. You had a relationship from somebody that you knew through 5 Minute Signal, right? And you were able to, obviously you were communicating out what you were doing, so they was able to help you and connect the dots with you and somebody else at Heathen.
Sure.
It's so important, and this is what we got to start teaching these visionaries, right? That's what I call the community, visionaries, right? So visionaries got to understand that we got to have good relationships. We got to cultivate these relationships. We got to make sure that when we have a thing that we're doing, that we're being good people. At the end of the day, that's really what you're saying, is that you were a good person and you developed that relationship and they were able to count on you to do a good job.
Yeah, most definitely. And the frat brothers, shout out to Rob Everett, man. That's my big homie.
For sure.
But I built his website. He has a business called Shots on 3.
Okay.
He owes me for that too. But he does photo booths in Birmingham area. So very, very, very big. He's been doing great stuff, but I built his website for him and he was telling people about it. And you do good work. Yeah. People tell other people, other people want to work with you. So
referrals.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's basically how that worked out. But like you said, building relationships, doing good work, man, standing 10 toes down on what you do. So
that's what's up. Mm-hmm. And then also, because you talked about this was the first big one, so obviously you didn't undercut yourself. Did you, early on, do you feel like you was undercutting yourself?
Hell yes.
Talk to us about that.
Hell yes. I mean, so, for the website stuff, I didn't have a mentor.
Okay.
I didn't have nobody to say, hey, you need to do X, Y, Z. This is how you need to go about it. It was kind of, I was learning on the fly. Mm. So when it came to quoting people, it was like, oh, I don't want to quote people too high because I want the business,
right,
so I can have the portfolio. But at the same time, it's like, you kind of do set yourself up for failure, but not setting the prices right.
Yeah. But
I read a book. I read a few different books. But one of the things that stood out was like, hey, either they're gonna pay you what you're worth, or you're gonna end up, burning yourself out, making a little bit of change and feeling like, So once I started asking for what I needed for the project, it changed my whole business mindset. It changed my whole So now it's like, okay, this customer wants this elaborate website and they're willing to pay for it. Yeah. So now my time, my energy, my mindset is like, okay, I'm getting what I said I needed to complete this project compared to, hey, I just want the business and oh man, I'm only charging them, $300 and this is almost a $10,000 website I'm building for them.
Right.
Because I didn't set I didn't set my expectations right. I didn't set their expectations right. So once I started learning how to do that type of stuff, and that's things I learned along the way with like project management classes I took, things like that. So once you start learning how to do scopes and scope creep, and it's like, okay, now hey, this isn't what we discussed. This is what's in our contract. So we want to do this. I need to add that, and you get that confidence, and it makes you get paid what you're worth. And that really got me to where I'm at now, So.
Gotcha. No, that's what's up, bro. That's what's up. That's a heavy point, because I think, early, especially for myself, I dealt with that too, right? Like low budgeting and low balling and trying to get the business, and I want to give you a good gangster price so you come back and shop with me.
That part.
And that didn't happen. You know what I'm saying?
Or you just end up getting burned out, man.
Yeah, right.
I got burned out on a few websites, man. I charge a lady like $500 and she gets very demanding and why is this ain't done this way? I'm like, this is a $500 website, right? this is supposed to be a 2-week project, and I'm moving on to the next one. But now this isn't carried on too much because you want this extra stuff. You want to do X, Y, Z, and this ain't what you paid for.
Right.
You know, so once I learned the way I'm gonna say this is gonna sound, but you gotta learn how to stand up for yourself in the business sense. Like, I wish she wasn't running over me like demeaningly, but it was like she understood business more than I did because you know she was an OG. Yeah. So it was like she was gonna stretch as much as she could,
right?
Because she knew how the game goes. So but once I learned it, it was like, okay, nah, this ain't how this gonna go. You know, I need to if you want that, it's gonna be extra this, that, and the other, and really standing on, you know, what I know and how to make it work. So that's how.
Nah, that's what's up, man. That's a good one. That's a good one, bro. So definitely making sure you got the relationships, having those referral businesses, doing good work when you have a good opportunity, and making sure you set your prices. That's
for sure.
Setting your prices right. Yeah, that's a heavy one, bro. Because I know oftentimes when you get started, you wanna get all the money you can, but So let me ask you this. What's a mistake that you made? And we talked about the low budget. What about on the technical side? Was there any mistakes that you made, or was there anything that it looked like you had it together, but you were kind of learning how to do it? Or
number one is basically setting yourself up for success with your pricing.
Okay.
And understanding the market that you're in, understanding that that the business and the things that you're doing have value because you're bringing a skill set that this person doesn't either have the time or the competency to do. Yeah. So that's why they're gonna pay you to do it. So your value is more than what it seems initially. Yeah. So that's one. The second one would be researching deeper. I research enough to get to what I was trying to do. I researched enough to understand how I was doing X, Y, Z. But researching the business side of things, researching the deeper, technical side of things. I was just doing enough. I was doing enough to get it done. Yeah. But in hindsight, I wish I would have spent more time learning more about the business side, more about the just getting deeper into the technical stuff, the technical side of things. And the third one is seeking mentorship. You know, I wish I would have sought mentorship for my website business years ago, because having having somebody say, "Hey, I did this, and these were my mistakes. Yeah. Don't make the same mistakes I did." You know, man, that would have helped me so much more and helped me grow even further. So, like, it goes back to that whole thing we were talking about earlier about the ladder, about you know, somebody pulling you up and you pulling somebody up as you climb. Yeah. You know, like I really wish I would have did that earlier on. I guess reaching out to the business mentor I told you about, like, she kind of helped guide me, and then after talking with her, I started looking for mentors. I started finding peers, you know, that's another part of that ladder thing. You know, is somebody pulling you up, you and your peers keeping each other steady, and then you bring somebody up behind you. So it's just, but yeah, man, those are the three, man. I would basically charge what I'm worth. Yeah. Do more research. Yeah. And seek mentors and peers to help me. Yeah.
And let me ask you this question, because I know, you know, as entrepreneurs that starting out, like, they're gonna see these programs that you can pay $600 to join this program online that you found through YouTube University. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think those help, or do you think that having somebody locally that you can talk to helps better, or are both of those of value in your opinion?
I think it all depends on the person, man. Yeah. You know, people learn differently. Yeah. So one of the reasons I created Culture Repeat, my vision behind that was, you know, I hate sitting in the classroom listening to somebody lecture. Understood. You know, my mind usually drifts and I'm bored. Understood. So I'm like, I want to go to a workshop where it's music, where it's good energy, right, and where I can do something hands-on. Yeah. You know, and it was like, well, nobody else is doing anything like that.
Right.
So it's like, well, I should do it. And that's what made me do it. But to go back to your question, like everybody learns differently. Yeah. Some people are hands-on, some people they read. So it just depends on your learning process and what works for you as an individual. Right. But I think there's value in both. Yeah. Because when you have that hunger to learn something, you'll go learn it. Yeah. Sometimes you need to be guided on how to get from point A to point B. So it just depends on the person. No, for sure. I agree with you on that. You know, growing up, like I came from a household that was my father. Excellent father, one of the best fathers in the world. But that man was cheap, boy. That man was cheap, and it was any extra he wasn't trying to pay it. So, and I'm sure a lot of us had that experience, right? Yeah. So when it comes to like business coaches and mentors and different things like that, it's not taught to us to go pursue those. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's not taught to us like the value of a business coach. Because you talked about you had a business coach, like. What made you say, I need to seek this business coach out? And then talk to us about the value of having a business coach. We talked about the mentoring, but is that also this kind of the same thing, having a business coach? Yeah, I mean, it falls in the same category. So, around the time that I met, her name is Tirza Monet. Okay. Shout out to Tirza. She was very heavy on Twitter. Okay. And this was around the time I was heavy on Twitter. It was black tech Twitter and all that. So it was a cool community. Okay. And I just kept resonating with some of the posts she would the posts that she would make about how she was coaching people and things like that. So she had a special something. I reached out and she kind of gave me a little session, and just her insight and her knowledge made me want to, for sure, continue to work with her, and she kind of helped me through a lot of different phases of my business. I kind of talked to her about Coach to Repeat after I kind of started it. Because I mean, long story short, like Coach to Repeat was just going to be just a random event I hosted. Okay. And it ended up growing into an actual business before I even knew it. Okay. Because before the first one was over, everybody like, hey, when the next one? When the next one? Right. Like, oh shoot, people really like it, you know? Yeah. So it became a business before I knew it. But with her, like she's a very intelligent, and she made it easy for me to comprehend and digest what it was she was saying, so I can go actually, implement it. Gotcha. And after working with her, I started seeking out other mentors and being more open to that, being coached and being, a student, and putting my pride and all that aside, and just like being open to learning. That's what's up. So that's what's up. You think those mentors is what made that difference for you? For sure. Like making you pop like that. Okay, yeah. That's what's up. Do you feel like you have any like systems or strategies in place in your business that also kind of helps drive you forward as well? Or what is your thoughts on of course, having a system in place to make sure you're operating at a higher level is like important, because a lot of people work off of motivation, right? Mm-hmm. And I think there has to be some discipline to it as well. Oh, for sure. My system is simple. I look at my bank account and I'm like, that ain't where it need to be. Right. So like, let me go do a little bit more. A little bit more, man. Yeah, for sure. So I got that, I got whiteboards with goals and I kind of take my same structures that I have at work, with tasks. Yeah. We kind of do the Kanban boards and all that. So I kind of, my mind and my business structure all kind of fall around on that same kind of structure. This is what's in progress. This is what I need from this. So, yeah. But as far as like the motivation and everything like that, it's more, I'm not gonna say it's money driven. Yeah. But it's success driven. Yeah. I want to mark out those projects on my whiteboard saying it's completed. That's what kind of excites me. Yeah. That's what keeps me going. And then being able to add a new one. Yeah. And mark off a current one or whatever. Yeah. that's what would get me going.
That's what's up. And I can kind of pick that up when you said you got 2 that should be closing out in June. So you already in mind, like I'm gonna close them out. I'm gonna put some more on the board to keep that thing rolling.
Exactly.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Now I like that. I think you talked about like the Kanban board, and of course we know what a Kanban board is, but that's a Kanban board is something you had to learn in corporate America. Basically, you had to learn that in corporate world where you learn like, all right, this is how a project is run. This is how a process is run. Talk about the importance, because this, and I'll give you the context, right? A lot of these people that's watching this are in a job, but they want to start a business and they want to get it off the ground. Talk about the importance of learning and maximizing the education you have in your current state before you actually even go roll out something new.
That's definitely something like I tell people about a lot, especially people that want to transition into tech.
Yeah.
It's like bring your existing knowledge, your existing skill sets to the table. That's gonna help you flourish in tech. Like one of my frat brothers, he wanted to get into tech, but he was a project manager for like a plant or something. Okay. Like you can bring that, and you can be in cyber. Yeah. And you can, all these different organizations need to meet these certain CMC requirements, which are basically all these different, just basically these different, what's the right word? Basically, every company needs to have XYZ done to meet the security standards to be a part of this affiliation and whatnot, as far as the government and things like that, and just security standards. You can bring that because you don't have to be technical to do that. You need to know technical jargon and technical. You need to have a basic understanding, but you're not doing the hands-on technical training. Right. So bring those skill sets. But back to your question though, like it really, for me, as far as my business, like I took a lot of what I learned in corporate America to my business. Yeah. The combo board is one thing. Because what that does, it helps keep everything in front of you and visually in front of you. Right. So you see where you at, you see where you need to go, you see like the bigger vision, and that's why I got like 3 whiteboards at the house for different things. Let me talk about that then. So like I have 3 whiteboards. Okay. I got a huge one that's my annual long-term goals, and I got a section for like visions and dreams, right? Then I have a smaller one that's more task-based that breaks down where everything is at. Okay. And then I have a smaller one, which is the one I keep in my bedroom, that has my tasks for that week. Okay. And so Sunday nights or early Monday mornings, just depending on how my week go. Yeah. That small one gets erased, and everything should be marked off. If it didn't get marked off, it's being added to this week's. Okay. And that's how I kind of keep up with things. So I guess I do have a process.
For sure.
But to your question though, like I just take. There's no point in having the knowledge and not applying it to your business and to your vision. Right. So that's what makes it. That's what's gonna make it flourish.
No, for sure.
So yeah.
Because like I think to the point that you said, bro, like while you're at this place, even though you may not enjoy it and you really want to go do this new thing, focusing in and doing good work while you're there, one, teaches you these systems, it teaches you new processes, but it also helps you with your relationship building side of it too, you know what I'm saying? Because you never know, once you go build this new thing, those people that you work with, you may be clients for you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And that's happening, especially with like my Bradshaw Tech, you know, basically with people knowing who I was in IT. Yeah. You know, that got me a little side business, fixing computers, working at churches, building websites for churches, you know, just my connections with people. That's actually how I ended up, doing your church's website. So
that's what's up. That's what's up. And just for that's the old church. I don't know what else. Nah, that's what's up, man. Nah, that's good. And because at the end of the day, that's our relationships. And I'm gonna harp on this until I can't harp on it no more. Having relationships and developing relationships.
It's critical.
It's critical, man. It's critical to your success. It's critical to everything. Being open about what you got going on. Because that's another thing that happens in our community, bro. It's like, people don't want to talk about what I got going on. I don't need too many people in my business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
I'm guilty of that, yeah.
But what we finding out is that it's like, okay, by opening up, you really getting opportunities coming to you.
Oh yeah, and I guess you know, I'm naturally quiet. I'm naturally introverted. I'm usually the guy's gonna kind of chill in the cut. I speak when people speak to me. You know, I'm not necessarily. I'm introverted in the sense.
Right,
I talk when I need to talk. I can be extroverted when I need to be. I can be in the front of the room when I need to be. But for the most part, my whole demeanor is like I'm chill, I'm laid back, I'm in the cut.
Right.
So I don't really talk about what I do a lot to people. But when it comes up, it comes up. Yeah. And for me, it's naturally, it's organic. Yeah. You know, someone say, "Hey, what do you do?" Or you know,
right.
What does that shirt mean? Or you know, so it's like okay, you know,
that's right.
And it's organic, it's natural, you know, and I don't feel like I'm forcing my business or what I do on the people, and I love that. Yeah. And this is how I naturally am, you know. So
that's what's up.
But in certain spaces, you do have to kind of jump out there and say stuff. If I go to like a conference or something, or I go to like a summit or something, and there's other people, I can't just sit back and not say, hey, you know, hey, this is what I do, this is who I am. Right. You know, I think I can help your organization by doing X, Y, Z. And it kind of helps, you know, get me out of that, I don't want to say a shell, but it gets me out of my comfort zone or my normal, you know, so definitely so.
That's what's up. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like after one of those summits, after one of those networking events, like, because you're introverted, do you feel like you have to recharge after that?
Most definitely. Most definitely.
What do you do to recharge?
It just depends, man. Typically, I like to sit in quiet spaces, man. Listen to some music or long drives. Yeah. You know, food always helps. You know, but nah, man. I definitely have to, especially after my events. I definitely have to recharge after my events, man, because I'm very sociable at the events because. One of the biggest things I want to do is make everybody feel included. Right. You know, you go to different things and people won't talk to you. But at my events, everybody's gonna talk to everybody there. Understood. You know, so if you talk to the person next to you, or my team is gonna talk to you, like somebody gonna talk to you. You're not gonna feel like you know you just paid a ticket and nobody cared about you. So, but that was intentional. Okay. You know, that it was a lot of intention behind that because I wanted everybody to feel included. That's what's up. But I definitely recharge after all my events because it's taxing to me. It's taxing, you know. Yeah. Not in a bad way, but it just is what it is. It is what it is, for sure. Nah, for sure. I feel it. I say I'm an extrovert, but like I feel you, bro. Like it gets to a point where it's like, all right, man. And then the older you get too, is like, man, I'd rather just be at the house.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah.
For sure. If somebody is starting from scratch, right, they want to do what you're doing, right? Mm-hmm. What would you recommend to them? We talked about relationship building. We talked about that. What else would you tell them? Mentor slide. We talked about relationships. We talked about mentoring. What else would you tell them in order to kind of get into this space?
So one of the biggest things I would tell somebody is to not be intimidated. Because people usually get intimidated in spaces feeling like they're oversaturated. So one of the first things I'll say is don't be intimidated because this person might be working with these 50 people over here, but there's 100 people over there that need the same thing. They don't even know about him. Right. That's your opportunity to get those 50 to 100 people, and they'll pay you. Right. So, you know, don't get caught up in that. And that's something I have to tell myself all the time too, because you know we're in a social media age, and you see all these ads, you see all these different things, and it's like you feel like everything's oversaturated. But even like what you're doing this podcast, you're gonna hit a certain crowd, a certain group of people who want this content compared to all the other content creators doing different podcasts. So don't get caught up in that. The second thing would be just to have your vision wrote out and don't get fixated on it not hitting exactly how you planned it out, because everything has its natural progression. So if you think it's gonna be this straight line from A to B, but you end up going from A to F,
yeah,
and it still aligns with your vision, with your purpose and your principles, then that's how it's supposed to be, you know. And then the third thing would be work backwards. Set your financial goal for the year, and then figure out how much you gotta make. So, you know, just if, for simplicity, to say, you know, you wanna make $10,000 this year. Yeah. You know, you need to make, I'll say $12,000, make it easy for me math-wise. You know, you need to make $1,000 a month. Yeah. You know, and then you break that down, how much you need to make a week. Yeah. So either you need to get a client that's gonna pay $1,000 a month, or you need to get, you know, pay you $250. You feel me? Yeah. So that'll be the third thing, and then the last thing would be rest. Like recharge, rest. Don't just get caught up in go, because you start to lose yourself. You start to get burned out. Rest is so essential to your spirit and your soul when it comes to your business, because your business, if it's gonna be your life, if it's gonna be what you end up replacing your 9 to 5 with, right. You need to love it, and you ain't gonna love it if you burned out all the time. Heavy. So that would be something I would tell somebody fresh again.
That's heavy. That's super heavy. I want to go back to one thing you said about oversaturation, right? And I apologize, we went a little longer than I expected.
Not good, bro.
But the oversaturation piece, I feel that even in this business, right? Even in my cinematography, videography, whatever you want to call this, I feel that because one thing I do is I shoot commercials for food trucks, right? I'm in my mind like, I know I can shoot you a great commercial, I can make this look good, and when I put it on social media, it's going to look great. But then I look and I see folks got cell phone footage doing the same thing I'm doing with these cameras. They're like, bro, am I in the wrong business? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that oversaturation piece is, and getting out of your head, that's a big part of it.
Oh yeah, that's huge, man. And I mean, so even for me, like, okay, so you saying you go out and you record, somebody has to physically do what you doing, right? You know, and you have to physically do what you doing. Like for me, like hell, Squarespace, all these different companies, AI build your website for you. Right. And it's like, click a button, it's gonna build it for you. Right. And it's like, at first it's like, oh damn, man, I need to find another way to make some money, but people still call me because they built the website, they don't like the way it looked. Right. They didn't know the right prompts to use. Right. They don't know how to change stuff the way they want it to look. So now I'm still getting paid to build people's website. You know, they use AI to start it. Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Right. And to be real with you, like my last 3 clients, they all started their website on Squarespace or something like that, and boom.
Gotcha.
Oh, I don't know what I'm doing.
Gotcha.
Can you help me? Yeah, I got you. How you want to look? Yeah. That's how much I'm gonna charge you. Right. All right, cool. Yeah. So, but yeah, I definitely, I had to get out of my own head too, man. Yeah. And even with the Coast and Repeat, it's kind of like, you know, I have quote unquote competitors, but nobody's doing it the same way I'm doing it. Yeah. You know, so. Right. But my thing is like, well, I got to get out of my own head when it comes to people want to learn, but people are intimidated to learn online, or everybody's not using AI to code. People want to learn the basics. People just are interested, so I have to keep doing what I do because there still is a desire for people to do it. And you know, so market for it, and some people just want the interaction. Yeah. Some people just come because they want to be around like-minded people. So I create that space, you know. So
yeah, that's what's up. Because for sure, like especially with the Cold Sip Repeat, like I'm sure people are also introverted. So them coming out and being around like-minded people is either it's gonna be hard for them, and they're going to also appreciate it because they're around somebody that thinks like them and acts like them. So.
And I'll tell you like this, man. So I usually get somebody to host because I don't want to host. Because I prefer to be in the background and managing and make sure everything runs smooth. But the main host is my homegirl Altrice. Okay. And she's very extroverted, but she said, I know y'all introverted in here, and we finna get y'all show today. Y'all get another drink, and we're gonna start talking about coding and all this. But that brings everybody to like
that's right,
a chill spot.
Yeah, man, we gotta get out of that. You gotta get out your head because oftentimes that's the enemy we fighting.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's that demon that we gotta overcome because at the end of the day, that's the battle. that's really the battle. Yeah. At the end of the day, because like people need this. They need this.
For sure.
People need to know how to cope. People need these things. We're the ones that's telling ourselves, nah, not right now, bro. They don't want to hear that. Why should I set my price? I want to give them a lower price. Exactly. We got to fight these battles, man. You know what I'm saying? So definitely that, man. Definitely that. So when is going to be the next Cold Sip Repeat? You said you're doing privately right now, right?
Yeah, we just have a few. We have a few private customers that we're continuing to service, but I'll probably try to set some up in the fall.
Okay.
Like I said, dealing with my mom passing kind of made me just sit back and rest.
Yeah, for sure.
But I am gonna probably do a social event.
Okay.
On June 9th.
Okay.
I'm working in a partnership with a lady I'm pretty close with.
Okay.
And we're gonna do something a little fun, a little different. And I'll get more information once we solidify it. Yeah. But it'll be fun. It'll be something dope, interactive as always. She's bringing a whole different element because she's into yoga and things like that.
Okay.
So we're gonna bring a whole different
That's gonna be crazy.
Yeah,
yoga and coding.
I don't know if it's gonna be coding. It'll be a technology element to it, but it's not gonna be like heavy like coding.
Okay.
And I guess doing the Cold Sip Repeat, I've learned how to not just make it coding.
Okay.
The last one we actually did was actually in Biloxi.
Okay.
And everybody used their phones. We taught them how to use. We taught them how to use AI. There's a huge ass gopher outside.
Yeah, there's gophers out there.
That thing huge, man. That threw me off. But yeah. So in Biloxi, man, we taught these professionals how to use AI to a deeper level.
Okay.
Just using their phones, man. So I've learned how to pivot and not just be stuck on laptops, not stuck on coding.
Okay.
So that's the beauty of what I've been able to do with Cold Sip Repeat.
That's what's up.
I'll definitely shoot you the dates.
Please do.
I guess by the time you said this will launch, we will definitely be promoting the event in June. Yeah. So for sure.
So then also, man, listen, if you need somebody to come in and do some videography for you,
sure.
You know what I mean?
Say less.
Please let me know. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you already know I got you.
Nah, man. So this is another question. I try to ask this question. So, what books are you reading right now? Are you reading any interesting books right now about business or anything like that? What are you reading? What are you learning? Like, how are you learning? You know what I'm saying? Improving.
Oh, that's a terrible question to ask me. So I read a lot of books, man. A better one would be for me to suggest some. But I read a lot of books about Africa.
Okay.
I'm reading a book about like metaphysical health.
Okay.
I read. My daughter got me reading a book that she loved about a young girl and her family being pushed out of Mexico. Okay. I read a lot, man. But some books I would recommend. My favorite book on business would be here we go. It's by author Blair Eames.
Okay.
And it's called it's just fleeing me right now. Let me go to my Audible right quick.
Oh, you good?
Everything's so slow.
You said Blair Eames?
Mm-hmm. EMS.
Okay.
What's it called? It's called The Manifesto. The Art of Not Giving a Fuck is a good one. The Four Agreements.
The Four what?
The Four Agreements.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite books of all time because it changed my whole mindset on life.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What was in it that was hitting like that?
The Win Without Pitching Manifesto by Blair Enns. That's ENNS. I'm sorry. The 4 Agreements, man. It's basically just 4 principles to live life by. Mm-hmm. One is always be impeccable with your words. Okay. So say what you mean what you say. Mm-hmm. Don't take anything personal. Mm-hmm. That sounds simple when you say it, but the way he broke it down in the book, it really was like, hey, what you see, what you feel, what you know is your reality. The person in front of you, their reality is totally different.
Right.
You know, so
right.
Don't get caught up in how they're acting towards you because you don't know what their reality is showing you about. So that one really kind of took me out, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I can't just get mad at this person honking their horn at me behind me because I don't know what the fuck they got going on.
Right.
Let me just reset and I need to pull over so it really changed my thought process. The third one is don't make any assumptions. And that sounds simple too, but the way he break it down is like you ask questions instead of assuming. Right. And when you start doing that, it just makes you communicate more. And the last one is always do your best. And that shit sounds simple too, but he goes into the whole thing about resting, being oversaturated. Okay. Not oversaturated, overworked, and all that. And it's like, you're going to do less. You're not going to put your all into it because, you know, you don't feel it. You know, so it was like, always do your best because, you know, you want the best results. So. That's right. And man, I read that book probably about at least 8 times, man.
Just because it's that heavy. It's that good.
And it just to get the refresher.
Okay.
But the Win Without Pitching Manifesto for sure, because it's aimed at creatives, who do stuff like videography and digital marketing and things like that. But the mindset it puts you in is that you don't have to sell yourself to somebody. Okay. They came to you. This is your price. You ask them questions, figure out what it is they want. Yeah. You tell them how you can support them. You quote them a price, and that's it. You know, it takes the whole like the jumping through hoops and everything out of it. Yeah. And to the point where it's like I have a consultation. I'm quoting you right there on the spot. Right. I'm basing off of your personality. Yeah. What is it you want? Yeah. How fast you want it done. That's my criteria, and it's like, boom, here's a number. Right. Or here's a range.
Right.
Is this range within your budget, and is it something that you're willing to work with? And usually you get a no or a yes. Yeah. You get that yes, man, it's clear. You get that no, it's like, okay, well, you know, thank you for your time. Yeah. And it's not necessarily an L because they didn't have the money. Right. So you see what I'm saying? So you kind of weed them out real quick. And then, you know, don't be a jerk about it. Like, hey, I got a young guy coming up behind me that might be able to work with your budget. Right. Send him over there. You know, now I'm putting him on. You know, so
that's pulling up that ladder again. Yeah.
So that's what that book taught me. Man, probably gotta read some of the books, man. But mainly like business wise, that's probably one of my best ones. Then I'm reading the Visual MBA. Okay. That's pretty good because he's taken everything he learned throughout his MBA and he made it into this visual, like boom, boom, boom. Okay. And it was pretty dope. I love the way he did that. And that's, I mean, you know, of course, your financial books, you know, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, The Rich Man Babylon, stuff like that. I haven't finished that one yet, but it's starting off pretty good. Man, I got so many, man. I'm gonna leave you with those, man.
No, for sure. That's a good one. Nah, that's good. You said you read a lot of you want to talk about the personal books. You talked about the one in Africa, was it?
So one of my favorite authors is Anthony Browder.
Okay.
from the Browder Files.
Yeah.
And I'm reading his book, the Nile Valley Civilization. So it's talking about how the civilizations that were ancient African civilizations that are more than just Egypt and Kemet that we know of.
Yeah.
You know, it was a whole lot of up and down the Nile Valley River with culture, with science, with trade, all these different things. So I'm still kind of in the beginning of that one, but it's pretty good so far.
Yeah, no, because I read the Bible, right? So I'm heavy in the Bible, but definitely like that Nile River Valley is and the birthplace of civilization, like where all those nations came from. You know what I'm saying? It lines up, and it was clearly people that were living their lives before any outside influence came to it. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
No, for sure.
Colonizers. Yeah.
Colonizers. That's right. That's right. Real rap. Okay, now that's what's up, man. So, all right, last question. Where can people find you? If they want to know about Bradshaw, if they want to know about Cold Sip Repeat, they want to know anything. So, where can people find you?
So if you want to find out about Cold Sip Repeat, you can find us on all social media at Cold Sip Code. On Facebook it's Cold.Sip.Repeat. On all other ones it's just Cold Sip Repeat at Cold Sip Repeat. Then you can actually go to my website, coldsiprepeat.com, and then my Bradshaw Text website is Bshaw Design, so BSHAW Designs with the S.com. And I'm on all social media as well, LinkedIn, Facebook. So
that's what's up. And you gave me one of these cold shirts, man. I definitely want to appreciate the shirt you gave me. I'm definitely gonna rock that one. I'm definitely going down. So they want one of them shirts. They gotta come to the event to get one of them shirts.
Yeah, you gonna event or we'll have more lines soon.
Okay.
Yeah,
for sure. That's what's up. So definitely want to give a big shout out to Jason Bradshaw for pulling up and sharing his story with us today. We appreciate your time, appreciate your perspective, your vision, and you already know how we end these shows all the time, Jason. We say this, that you are a visionary, right? When we say a visionary, that means somebody that saw something and made it happen, right? They had an idea and made it come to reality. So you are a visionary. To the rest of our visionary community out there, keep building, keep creating, keep executing. Until next time, I'm your host, Walter Williams. Peace.
Peace. Appreciate you.